Europe has cities that everybody knows: Paris, Rome, Amsterdam, Barcelona. But hidden across this continent, tucked into mountain valleys and perched on cliff tops, there are villages so beautiful that visiting them feels like walking into a dream. These aren't tourist traps. These are real, living communities where people have called the same streets home for centuries. Today, we're visiting the 10 most breathtaking villages in Europe. Number 10. Hallstatt, Austria. You have almost certainly seen a photograph of Hallstatt without knowing it. This tiny Austrian village on the shores of a mountain lake is so impossibly picturesque that it has become one of the most photographed locations on Earth. The houses tumble down to the water's edge, their facades reflected in the lake below. The Alps rise dramatically behind. The village church steeple has stood since the 12th century. Hallstatt is also one of the oldest continuously inhabited settlements in Europe, with a salt mining history stretching back 7,000 years. The best time to visit is dawn, when the lake is still and the reflection in the water is so perfect you could turn the photograph upside down and not notice. Number 9. Eguisheim, Alsace, France. Eguisheim is organized in concentric circles, 3 rings of medieval half-timbered houses, painted in every shade of rose, gold, cream, and blue, spiral outward from a central castle courtyard. The streets are so narrow that neighbors can lean from their windows and shake hands. Every building is a different color. Every window has a flower box. The whole village looks like it was designed by someone who had too much joy and decided to build their dream. Eguisheim is repeatedly voted the most beautiful village in France. Located in the Alsace wine region, the surrounding landscape is as gorgeous as the village. Vineyard rows stretching to the Vosges Mountains, castles on every hilltop. Number 8. Monsanto, Portugal. Monsanto doesn't build around its boulders. It builds between them, under them, and with them. Houses use boulders as walls. Boulders serve as roofs. Paths weave between rocks the size of buildings. In 1938, Monsanto won a national competition to name the most Portuguese village in Portugal, a title it still holds. It was first settled over 2,000 years ago, when the hilltop's natural rock fortress made it militarily unassailable. Wandering its boulder-strewn lanes while looking out over a panorama of olive groves and distant mountains, it feels like somewhere that time forgot on purpose. Number 7. Civita di Bagnoregio, Italy. They call it La Città che muore, the dying city. Civita di Bagnoregio sits atop a plateau of volcanic rock in central Italy, and the plateau is eroding. Slowly, relentlessly, the cliffs are crumbling away. To reach it, you cross a single narrow pedestrian bridge, 300 meters long, suspended high above the valley below. No cars, no deliveries, no way in or out except on foot. The village at the top has a population of about a dozen permanent residents. Their streets are silent. Their views, looking out from the edge over the eroded valleys below, are among the most dramatic in Italy. Civita di Bagnoregio is vanishing, but it is doing so magnificently. Number 6. Giethoorn, Netherlands. In Giethoorn, there are no roads that lead here. None at all. The village has no streets for cars. The only way to get around is by boat, bicycle, or on foot. The farmhouses here date from the 17th and 18th centuries. Their thatched roofs arch over the canal banks. Their gardens tumble to the water's edge. Ducks commute between properties more efficiently than any car could. On a summer afternoon, hire a boat and drift through Giethorn's waterways at the pace of the 17th century. It is one of Europe's most quietly extraordinary experiences. Number 5. Kotor, Montenegro. There are medieval walled cities across Europe. None have Kotor's backdrop. The city walls of Kotor climb the sheer limestone mountain directly behind the town, scaling all the way to a fortress at the summit. Below them, the city is a perfect medieval maze. Romanesque churches, Venetian palaces, and narrow lanes that twist unpredictably between ancient stone walls. And then there are the cats. Kotor is famous for its cats. They are everywhere. The setting, inside the Bay of Kotor surrounded by limestone mountains, is so dramatic it feels cinematic. Every view, from every angle, looks like a movie poster. Number 4. Sighișoara, Transylvania, Romania. Sighișoara is the birthplace of Vlad the Impaler, which feels entirely appropriate because this medieval citadel in Transylvania looks exactly like the kind of place where someone like that would be born. Perched on a rocky hill above the river, Sighișoara's citadel is one of the best preserved medieval fortified towns in Europe. Its colored towers and bastions have barely changed since the 14th century. The clock tower, built in 1360, still dominates the skyline. A covered wooden staircase climbs to the hilltop church. Sighișoara is also one of Europe's most underrated destinations. Crowds are thin, prices are low, and the medieval atmosphere is completely unbroken. Number 3. Ljubomirë, Bosnia and Herzegovina. At 1,400 meters above sea level, on the edge of a dramatic canyon in the mountains of Bosnia, there is a village that the 21st century has not reached. Ljubomirë is Bosnia's highest and most isolated, permanently inhabited village. It is reachable only on foot, a 90-minute hike from the nearest road. It has no running water, no internet. The stone houses have looked the same for centuries. The women of Ljubomirë wear traditional folk costume passed down unchanged for generations. From the village edge, the ground drops into one of the deepest and most inaccessible canyons in Europe. This is Europe as it was 1,000 years ago. Number 2. Abidos, Portugal. Abidos is a medieval walled town so perfectly preserved it was given as a wedding gift. In 1282, King Dinis of Portugal brought his new queen to Abidos. She loved it so much, he gave it to her. The entire town sits within intact medieval walls you can walk along. The streets are cobbled and narrow, lined with white and blue houses trailing bougainvillea. Traditional blue and white ceramic tiles cover doorways and church interiors. Abidos serves its famous cherry liqueur in small chocolate cups that you eat after drinking. It is one of the best food innovations in the world. The town is small enough to walk in an afternoon and beautiful enough to spend 3 days without wanting to leave. And the number 1 most beautiful village in Europe, Røyne, Lofoten Islands, Norway. Every few years, geography magazines vote on the most beautiful village in Europe. Røyne keeps winning. Located on the Lofoten Islands above the Arctic Circle, Røyne sits in a setting of almost violent natural drama. Jagged, snow-capped peaks rise almost vertically from the fjord. The sky here is huge. The light is unlike anywhere else on Earth. Traditional red wooden fishermen's cabins cluster at the water's edge. In summer, the midnight sun turns the fjord gold for hours. In winter, the northern lights dance above the mountains. The reflection of rain in the still water on a calm morning is one of the most photographed images in all of Europe. It is the kind of view that makes you stop talking. The kind of place that makes you understand, immediately and completely, why people dedicate their lives to travel. "10 villages, all real, all waiting." Tell me in the comments, which village is going on your list? Subscribe for a new destination every week, and share this with whoever you want to travel with.